right, so why people are not successful with infinite banking. So this infinite banking, I did a video reviewing this lady and this gentleman, Wealth Nation, a good channel by the way, you should check them out. Reason why I did a video earlier about this, about infinite banking. The idea of infinite banking is this. Here's the simple idea. The idea is that you're running your own bank leveraging some types of insurance vehicle, obviously your personal finances, borrowing money from yourself like a bank. There's a whole way and plethora of how to set it up, and they teach it pretty well. It's kind of easier said than done, okay? But what really fascinated me about this video is that they had to teach people. They had to basically be teaching people. Let me just play a little bit of the clips. Let me play a little bit of the clips before I get started here. They had to be teaching people the idea of how banking works. And what I really wanted to extract out of this, let's listen in first.
Understand that banking takes time, it takes patience, and it takes energy. So if you are involved in infinite banking, or you're thinking about getting involved and you need help, you want assistance, you want to be a part of a community, then definitely click on the link below. We would love to serve you at.
All right, so great. So they sell some kind of program around that. Now here's the thing with this kind of things, right? If you don't understand something as basic as personal finance, budgeting, banking, how a bank works, how the bank that you put your money in, how they make money, if you don't understand that, don't attempt infinite banking. Like, why would you attempt infinite banking without knowing how banking works? If your only understanding of banking is that I just save my money in there, if that's the only understanding that you have of banking, if that's it, if that's all you got, you need to learn more a little bit about how banking works before you approach infinite banking. Now, I'm guessing they probably will teach you the basics, right? But also, people have this habit of walking around YouTube to scrape around information and hoping to make something out of it. Hire them, okay? Join the membership. Learn the basics of how these things work before you approach them. The idea of infinite banking is that you become the bank. You can leverage. It's basically leverage on steroids, okay? It's the same way you learn about credit, leveraging credit, right? And leveraging how to build a bunch of credit together. Even leveraging how to do, what do you call it? Like the LLC type of credit, right? Like where you do credit for a company, right? There's a method to that madness, right? But again, if you don't understand basic credit, don't approach credit at that kind of complicated level. Keep it simple. Learn one concept before you move on to the next one, right? I like the idea personally, something I'm going to explore. The idea of leveraging different types of insurance for certain type of leverage. See, you're not doing it just for the sake of just doing it. You're doing it because when you connect some of these things together, it increases your reach, okay, in terms of financial power, purchasing power, and obviously eventually, I think that's what she was trying to stress there, patient time and energy. Eventually you will build your net worth a lot faster than you would normally do if you were not exposed to these different vehicles of investments, insurance, and all this kind of things. So if you understand, I would definitely suggest that you try to understand insurance too. If you understand insurance, understand banking from a very simple basic knowledge, right? If you ever messed around with stock options, you understand how the stock options are comparable to insurance, the idea of insuring a position, right? If you don't understand that yet, bring it down to at least if you insured your vehicle, you pay a certain amount of money to insure your vehicle, to insure your home. Even some people pay rental insurance. Just in case there's a problem, you're covered, right? So if in case somebody hits your car, you don't have to come up with $5,000 to fix it. But also at that, there's also deductibles. How much has to come out of your pocket? How much doesn't have to come out of your pocket? It's a whole game, and it's real, and it's not a joke. That if you learn the idea that you learn, most human beings will not do it. When you learn it, it goes a long way from a financial standpoint in terms of the amount of leverage you are exposed to, which means you can get a lot more done financially, personally, with very little, with the same you, right? But just because you pull the trigger on some of these tools, you're able to use them. So I like their channel. I'm paying more attention to what they're saying. I like the idea of infinite banking, right? That's like leverage on steroids. But is that just gonna fall out of the skies? No, it's gonna take some understanding and learning how these things work. But again, for me personally, I'm also tapping into some of these different things. But I also want to tell you to be careful when you're tapping into them, because honestly, it can get a little bit overwhelming. And you know what they say about paralysis by analysis. You get to a space where you start to overanalyze everything. And honestly, I want you to keep it as simple as possible. Start with your active income, okay? That's what I teach here. You can use real estate, fliphouses.nationwide.com, right? Active income, and then when you have some money coming in, then obviously you have to start leveraging that money to work for you, right? You start with basic investment, learn how to put some money in stock market, in crypto, right? Also leveraging life insurance and different types of life insurance and things like that. That's what they're talking about. But if you take it in layers like that, it's easier to understand than try to jump right into the middle of infinite banking, as I've seen some people try to right here. So let's see in the commentary. It's too complicated. Most of us are not disciplined enough to make it work. There you go. Okay. Actually, it's doable, but again, this is somebody probably trying to jump too fast into it, right? I've never heard anybody build wealth with this. To me, this seems like people just trying to sell insurance masquerading as an investment. That's not true either. That's a stretch. That's a reach. Okay. Somebody say, exactly, sir. This is trash at best. Interesting. They clearly say it in several of their videos that whole life insurance policies are not investments. Okay. So some people are hating on them here. Again, people always look for an opportunity to point fingers. Sadly, that's just how life works. Unfortunately, I hate to see that, but I also understand why it happens. But again, that's why only very few people win. Nothing worthwhile in life is going to be easy. It's going to take investment of time, money, energy, and for you to suck it up and understand that yes, some things are going to be complicated. When you unentangle it, that's what creates the reward. That's what creates the reward. Disentangle it, right? I don't know if that's a word, but you get the point. If it's complicated, uncomplicate it. Okay? That's how that works.